Right on it, Kitty. Finished the IS-2. Jackson's realizing the situation, turning to help along with the Su-85, but the King is pushing as well. Kills the Su-85. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot117 bringing you another COH2 replay. This is a 4v4 on Port of Hamburg. I recorded this before with 151, however, the audio got messed up, so doing it again because need to get this stuff done. And 151 is currently very, very busy doing absolutely nothing. That's right, he does absolutely nothing. Can't imagine what he's doing right now. Working? Who does that? But yeah, he's doing something right now. Anyway, point of the matter is, let's get to this 4v4 game. This was sent in by a Patreon supporter. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so with the links down below, or just join my Discord. Again, links are down below, along with my Twitch and all the other social media links and all that stuff. But anyway, moving on, we got Tonk, Milam, Infinite, Johnny versus Sultan, Banter Raider, Mimi Cute, and Bazooki. Let's double check their overall play time as well, because some people ask. It seems like they've played quite a bit. Now this Tonk guy looks like a newbie. He looks like an absolute scrub, honestly. I can't imagine he's played. I'm kidding. I know who that is. And again, this is also a reason why I say it to people. It's like when they see that, oh, Greyshot, that person has no playtime or no experience or whatever the case may be. Wrong. That person could just be literally making a new account or something like that, which that person I know has hundreds of hours of experience. So just the kind of quick mindset of why that may not be 100% accurate to the player's actual skill. But something that does show skill is the commanders they choose. And what do we have? Johnny went shock rifle, Infinite went heavy cav with heavy tanks. We got Milam with airborne troops, and Tonk yet to go anything. Mimi Cute has gone great offensive. By the way, big battle going on in the distance. It looks like allies are trying to push out the Axis MG in a really rough spot. Love the flank going on right now. Grenadiers on standby to hold. But another MG coming up, so that hold might not last for too much longer. Again, on the other side, let's see. Banter Raider has gone breakthrough, so possibly heavy tank. And Sultan has gone festing armor doctrine. Okay, interesting. Again, defensive play, but still can be pretty damn good. Now, and the reason I say it's just fortification, kind of hauling down, try to do what they can to hold specific positions if possible. Point of the matter is, the right side looks like it's about to go under Allied control. Double mortar is really going to help break those MGs if they do come up. And even at the OKW infantry, I don't think will be enough. But we'll see. Right now, the MG is here just trying to suppress. But again, I would... fair to say that that unit is probably... Well, hopefully can decap the point. Or they can drop smoke onto the position. So that way they can take it without additional fire. On the far left, it seems like the infantry is kind of in a bit of a stalemate. One side wants to advance. The other side is has an MG and lots of British infantry that can most likely hold. There is a lot of Axis forces here, though. But again, there's no cover here, so they'll probably be shredded very quickly if they, get into that area. As we can see with this poor Volk squad that's like, yes, I'm going to walk in. Immediately annihilated. Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. Anyway, MGs, looks like support spam going more with Milam, who's going, again, heavy on secondary forces, and again, that by engineer, MG, mortar. Not really direct combat infantry like Panzerfusiliers and Volk squads. But it looks like the Panzerfusiliers are taking mid, Volk squads on standby. Again, lots of cover being built for defense, and a medical facility being brought up to help out with healing. Really, really good. Again, I like this aspect just because, again, you can help your team. And again, it is a little farther forward. Don't get me wrong. But still not bad overall in the grand scheme of things. Because again, the enemy would need a long-range tank destroyer, which again, Soviets have to hit that, or artillery or something like that. But if the Axis can advance themselves far enough and break the Allied lines here, that's not an issue, especially if they can reinforce themselves. It's kind of like the Soviet forward base mentality of things. Speaking of which, how are the guys down here doing? They've actually yet to capture the point. Neither fuel has been taken. It's been 5 minutes. That's actually kind of astonishing. So both are relatively even in fuel, but munitions, on the other hand, not the case, indeed. Right now, Sturm Pioneers are trying to hold the building. Meanwhile, they're trying to capture that territory. Now it's even. Just need to wait a second. So, again, and now it's going to be caches and other things like that. That's really going to make that difference between the two parties. Whether the allies are going to be able to take that or the Axis. So it's going to be up to what tactics they use. Support gun mortar, they're just blasting all the allied positions that are grouped up a bit. And smoke is coming down. Mortar fire is coming down. But again, also great mortar hit on this Volk squad. Volk squad's using the heavy cover to their advantage. Allies trying to push on in. Some have heavy cover, some do not. But they do manage to take the point, but they're under heavy casualties. Do we have an American ambulance? We do. Infinite does have one, but it's back at base. I think you should bring that up to really help reinforce, because a lot of these men are really weak and have to fall back. My God. Oh, that was a great hit on retreat. My God, that poor conscript squad. But, yeah, we got some return fire going on against these guys. But again, another frontline medical facility. The OKW's main objective is to assist the austere ally or comrades that they have and try to heal as much as possible. Meanwhile, the British on the far left building a mortar pit. Again, lots of defenses here. And again, we also see here that Milam is upgrading his men with SVTs. Interesting enough, the SVT on the engineer squad, which I don't have a tendency to see as much, but it does increase damage. So, hey, if you want to go for it, go for it. We'll see how effective that is against the enemy, at least holding that position. Especially if it's cheaper, and if you can deal at least good damage. It's kind of like Ostrupen, where you just have decent infantry just holding on defense. I assume they're not good for offense. Wait, can they get a flamethrower still? They can. Oh, that's interesting. But all four have SVTs, right? Maybe you don't want that flamethrower. Maybe you do. Who knows? Point of the matter is, defense are still enabled on this side, and we do have a mortar. And do we have a support gun coming up? We do. So they have some stuff that'll break it, but we'll see how long that takes. Especially with the mortar pit there, that could really cause havoc as they advance, or even slightly, you know, for the support gun. Meanwhile, we do have a flank going on. Grenadiers going behind the lines. And the ambulance was moved up to heal. A lot of conscripts holding the line. Again, Johnny going with the mentality of, just send men, that'll fix the problem. I mean, sure. And it is interesting how they're capturing the point by literally sticking their foot. Oh, never mind. They lost it. They're backing up. He's like literally putting his toe into the water, being like, I don't know about this. Except instead of, you know, to see if you're jumping into the pool, it's getting resources for the help command. You know, similar ideas, just different things behind it. Conscripts opening fire against the Volk. Again, this is the thing where it's like retreat or walk away. Luckily, he was able to just walk away to get to cover, because conscripts really weren't in the greatest position to just shred him. Either that or they really weren't focusing. Johnny also having a decent-sized army. Infinite as well, having Rangers on the field. Hello, baby. Again, really good troops coming on up. And again, Thompsons are being equipped. So at the very least, he'll have good close-range infantry to really help himself out. But speaking of which, we have a flank going on. Raider is raiding and actually doing a damn good job. Mortar Pit, if it gets neutralized, would be a big win. MG being taken is fine. It's a Maxim. But at least they managed to take something and get out of there. But it looks like the British position up north, not in the south, but in the north, or like this area, is still holding pretty strong. And British artillery is now being called in, which is really smashing Sultan to bits. My God. Sultan very low on health on that retreat, trying to get the hell out of there. Mortar is doing well. Veteran C2 and Sport Gun's trying to finish off the mortar pit, which it does. So good advance on that. They broke what they needed to. The heavy position that was made on the far left is gone. So Rifle's now in a bit of a unstable position, I would say. His troops are fine, but again, it's like how long can they consist if they are slowly being weakened down? It's really going to come up to Milam to kind of provide that, how would I put it? Kind of relieve the pressure going on against Rifle. And he's doing that with defensive mines. A good start. I think some mines here and here would be a good idea. Engineers coming on in. Again, I'm not sure how effective they are going to be, but at least I know those SVTs pack a punch. So maybe from afar, just support. Again, they could at least do a little bit of damage right there. Let's see. Su-76 moving up and firing. Again, not a bad idea. It does have a great long-range artillery ability. They'll break up support equipment or stuff like that. Now, if it actually hits something, that would be wonderful, but so far it is yet to do that. Engineers moving on in. The SVT's trying to push back the enemy, but the enemy will grab the fuel. And on the far right side, the allies still have the fuel, so that's a small win. Smoke going down, so an allied advance is likely in this region. How effective it's going to be is, well, anyone's guess. Alright, but they are advancing. Conscript's doing a big old hoorah. MG, though, lined up and waiting, and a bunker is there, so if they go too far in one direction. But a Panzer headquarters was made, and the allied advance might be checked, but they are hiding this corner, or holding it. So let's see, we have an MG down, Rangers killing a pack. We have some good hits, but they're not killing anything. That's the big problem. I think most of the men made it back in one piece. Stewart's also on the field, but they weren't able to break this line. The Panzer headquarters was up just in the nick of time to really hold this position. So good job on Mimikyu for actually providing that hold. Also, he's reinforcing. Again, makes sense. Medical's right there. Can easily do so. Double support guns and mortar opening fire. And again, the allied positions will be worn down over time, especially because support gun does have some decent range. Unfortunately, Basuki, on the other hand, not doing too well. Looks like a lot of, he took the brunt of that, and he lost a lot of men. So at the very least, the allies will be worn down by artillery. I don't think a frontline push is coming anytime soon, just because of the fact that the infantry is not really supported for a big push by frontline men. They just don't have that at this moment. He did go with elephants. Maybe that will come down the line, but right now he's not pushing. Meanwhile, again, British barely holding, but by God, scanning their teeth right now with a small sample of men. Anyway, engineers coming back in with those SVTs, trying to do what they can against the Volk. Rickenwerfer as well right here, again, stopping any armor that comes through. Maybe he's trying to hit the SU-76s that were, already in the position. They haven't gotten kills, but they have gotten a decent amount of experience, so I'll give it that. Sniper, by the way, 9 kills. Again, OKW and Austere have a lot of 4 to 5 man squads, respectively. So it's easier to wear down than the 5 to 6 man squads the Allies have. Except for the Brits, but the Brits can up that with some upgrades. Artillery coming down in the region once again. British infantry going on to the point, stopping the cap. Allies really doing a good job at just keeping the Axis from fuel, but the Axis are countering. They are putting caches down to really rectify that situation. And it's working right now, even without that fuel. It looks like they might cap it if the British don't get in there. They are getting 25 fuel per turn, and now they're getting 32 fuel per turn. So again, it's a situation where, alright, we have this problem, how do we fix it? That is so super key in a lot of these matches. And how do we fix a consistent problem, a consistent situation where the enemy is being annoying in this regard? How do we fix that? And it looks like, again, Sultan is doing a good job in that way of providing his allies support, because I don't think, Basuki has built any caches. No, he's not. He has not built any caches. Yeah, he does have a Vet 3 mortar, so at least he has that going for him. Rangers barely getting out alive. Shock troops trying to save them, and they do manage to do that. The question is about these Volk squads. What do you do? Because, again, they're going to hide back here and just replenish themselves real quick. Yep, and you have to fall back. We have a Cromwell being made. Let's see. What else we got? Half-track on the field, most likely to shoot down any planes. And, again, consistent recon is a problem. Again, I know it's like, oh, it's just flying in the sky. It won't hurt my men. It will, because the enemy will know what is there and can really fuck you up in that way. They can absolutely do a lot of damage if you're not paying attention. Anyway, because again, these support guns will then have access to, well, access to all of your support equipment and just start annihilating you. Stewart on the, I haven't really talked about it. It's doing okay, got a couple kills. It's just providing support. The Axis, on the other hand, I don't think have really deployed a lot of armor. Jagdpanzer, of all things, is being developed. Okay. But that's the first armored vehicle I think we're going to see from the Axis. That being said, Axis push is happening. Without it, who needs armor when you can push with infantry? And by God, they're doing well. Sldered's getting around the MG. AT grenade possible. Yeah, it looks like they're trying. Yep, there it goes against the SU-76. Again, you're not. This is a situation where it's like, okay, it's not going to kill them, but it does keep them back enough to where they can't use artillery and really become they can't become that nuisance that they were with all the support equipment up here. But Cromwell is on the field, and yeah, it's causing issues. It's doing its thing. Now, let's see, 5-man British infantry squad, so Tonk has upgraded. Okay, this is rifle. I can't deal. It's rifle. It's rifle on their team. Again, I don't know why I changed his name. Again, keep a consistent name. That's my regard. I've been Greyshot 117 for, God, how long has it been? 12 years. I haven't been doing content for that long, but since the days of Xbox Live, I have been Greyshot 117. And, I try to keep that consistent. But anyway, down south we have another push. They're trying to go for the capture point because the Allies are losing points. They're down 200. Unfortunately, even with Rangers with Thompsons, they're having issues with the MGs. Also Dodden with SCG-44s. And I believe that weapon is better at close range, while the other one's better at longer range. Though, again, overall, it's still, I think, better to get the LMG unless you're in close quarters combat, which this almost Sedan squad is, so again, good choice. A lot of artillery fire coming in. Conscripts have to fall back, but they still have the ambulance. They still have the ambulance. Jagdpanzer is still on standby. Looks like it got a few scrapes in on the Stuart, but not too much of anything. And that's because there's not much armor going on. It's purely an infantry game and support gun game. My God, 11 kills with that one. This one is 7, not too shabby with doing that damage. Meanwhile, Cromwell is trying to break the axis line on left. Where's that pack gun? Okay, it's moving up. SVT's coming on the flank. They're going to really need something. Oh, Panzerfuhr. Oh, my God. Panzerwerfers. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll absolutely do it if he does a point-blank shot against those engineers. But I think he... Oh, he's firing. Goes up. What comes up must come down. And, yeah, great hit. He got at least one squad wipe. I would say a squad wipe is absolutely fine. It might be just an engineer squad, but again, also add in the SVT, and that's a decent amount of resources lost that Milam would have to replenish. Luckily, Milam has like 800 manpower. Raider is 900, my God. Anyone else have manpower? No? Okay. Wait. Man, Milam really likes that AT gun, and he has yet to get a single one. He's like, I'm going to update all my AT guns with all this awesome stuff, and it's like, sorry, I'm not going to use any of it, of course, because, why would I do that? Okay. Anyway, artillery fire is coming in on the Volk squad, and doing a decent amount of work. I mean, it's hurting it, but they haven't gotten that decisive action. But Pack Guns is getting that. SU-76 getting some great shots on target. Slowly punching him, but trying to push him back. And he is very low on health, so one last shot. But there's an MG there. He won't be able to finish it off. Let's see. So we have the fuel here. We have... Oh, okay, some caches. Okay. So Bazuki is doing something. Rangers trying to come in to help hold the point. And I think they will, for the most part. I don't see much the Axis can do to stop those Ranger squads at that moment, unless they bring like fire down. But yeah, that's not happening. Katusha being developed, and that makes sense. But it's weird that he's firing the Katusha at the infantry and not this. This is a perfect target that would get you a ton of XP real quickly. And it's not like you don't have recon. Infinite, I believe, has... Yes, he has his major. So he can do a recon over the area. And again, because of the major recon, it's a flight straight. It doesn't do a circle. So because it's straight and it just goes of recon pass, the awesome one will shoot it down, but you'll still get that recon. So again, it's very consistent by the recon that you use and how AA affects it. Like in an AA, for example, a pass would need to hit it before it does what it needs to do. So that's why in IL-2 bomb strike, you'll see on some maps the Axis will put, or allies will put AA along the corners or the edges, because then when the IL-2 comes in, it will get shot down and come down before it gets to the juicy part or the target that most likely, I'm assuming, is closer to the middle portion of the map. So just You know, just something to be aware of some players will use in terms of having planes. Anyway, plane is inbound right now, but again, we have the half-track, which has so far killed 5 other planes. Let's make it 6. 6. And crashes right into the canal. Fantastic. Meanwhile, SVT forces have captured mid. We actually have Milam as a Katusha now, so doing pretty well. But Axis forces are advancing. Let's see, Raider is boosted. Oh, command tank. Okay, cool. We have a command tank. So yeah, it's command tank's awesome. It adds a defensive layer around all the units around it, which is perfect. Because again, if you're under a constant artillery fire, keeps it alive. We have white phosphorus coming in. Bit of a mixed signal there. And yeah, because again, it will push the infantry back, and as an infantry support army, that's great. But they'll just fall back here and then push up. So you have to really watch out for that. But it's working. It's putting a big hole in their lines, actually kind of blocking them off of all things, which is really interesting to see. Mines going down. Again, good defensive works. Rifle trying to do what he can with his infantry. Again, he can't hold on to that point. Was that a share? I have no idea what that was. But anyway, he might be gearing up for an assault, just kind of healing up his forces. He doesn't have a forward base. Also, real quick, allies, I forgot to mention, do have a lot of caches, so they are doing really good work at making sure that they're getting a decent amount of income. And it looks like they had to reposition their ambulance, maybe? Unsure. Double Katusha opening fire in a better spot, actually hurting the Ostwind. My god, doing a decent amount of work. Doesn't hit the support gun, but the Ostwind's taking actually a load of hits, which is good, because actually that will provide some veterancy even if it gets less kills. Alrighty. So half-track's under fire by Jagdpanzer or something. I think it was the Jagdpanzer, but luckily the Zis is pushing back the Jagdpanzer. Recon overflight is overhead, and this is what I mean by the pass sort of thing. And again, that's from the British ability to assault, which is, it should be assault and recon or something. But even if the plane goes down, which we saw there, it doesn't matter because the pass is already complete. They already saw everything on the field of battle. Plane's about to go down again. Oh my god, it almost hit that Panzerfusilier squad. And this is pre-patch. So again, doing it would do damage. It will do damage. That's all you need to know. But yeah, they're pushing on up. He retreats because again, suppression has to go all the way around. Unfortunate. Su-76 is firing artillery. Wow, that's a weird path finding. Oh, because the medical facility's here, so he literally has to run in front of all the that's hilarious. That's pretty good. We have a King Tiger on the field, so Raider literally saved up for the biggest, baddest tank he possibly could. Multiple Panzerfusiliers and a command tank, but luckily British are holding, and again, good job on the sniper, 24 kills. He kind of actually did a nice special shot on the command tank, kind of weakening it down quite a bit. And then meanwhile, let's see, is that everything the Axis currently have? No, actually, the Ostwind isn't the only thing. We have a Panzerwerfer as well over here, and we have a Panther being developed. So Basuki is going, maybe not so much in the infantry department as a lot of his stuff. Well, that it is, well, not meant for like frontline battle. He's mostly pumping it in the armor, which is weird because he also has an elephant. But I guess he's like, eh, maybe cute. Well, no, sorry, maybe cute. Sorry. Maybe Sultan. No, wait, where's the Raider? Wait, no, Raider has the King. Never mind, there's no Yag. There's no Yag coming because the King Tiger's on the field. Okay. I mean, to be fair, he's mostly fighting infantry and Su-76s. I kind of see why he wants the King. He's like, wait, the Soviets have weak armor. Why would he get a big tank destroyer to deal with that if they're not going to get a heavy tank themselves? I'll just... Oh, nice hit. Nice hit. They killed the mortar. But yeah, why would I get a big heavy tank that's designed against anti-armor for that when I need something to kill this weak infantry and kind of push up my front? Maybe. That's my thought process. Though the Yag has good range, so you could theoretically say the infantry could screen and you could pick off everything else. So, risk reward, I guess. Anyway, command tank opening fire. The infantry, they're still holding the fuel pretty well on the left. Their allies on right got decapped. British bombers are allowed now, so we can maybe see a bombing strike against this position to break it. Command tank very low, but still fighting. King Tiger advancing on the Su-76s. Can he get a kill on them? It's going to really matter if he can, like, Panzerfaust one of them. If he can, then the King could probably kill it. But unfortunately, a miss there doesn't help. But double fire bounces off the King, so that doesn't help either. There's some mines as well, which could help if they could snare. or not snare, but like cripple the King's engine, and that way they can just fire over time and weaken it down. Because then it'll just be a big floating target. Nice kill right there against the Volk squad. Again, German assault is falling apart. Can they get this? They do! 2 Volk squads are down via Mimikyu, losing a lot of his frontline capabilities. Fire coming down the support gun, killing that. And in the span of a few seconds, Mimikyu loses almost half his army. My god. Jagdpanzer opening fire against the Jackson, trying to do what it can. And it's doing decently well. Panther got some scrapes in, but AT gun looks like it kept it back. And it, again, pretty good. 8 kills. Veteran C2. Actually, a lot of vetted troops for Johnny. Although, I love the fact that his half-track has killed 8 planes. Let's make it 9. Ah, yes. 9 planes have fallen. And why? Because they keep sending them in. I feel like there should just be like a mission just to kill that half-track. Alright, anyway. Panzerwerfers have fired against the mortar. Shock troops have unfortunately gotten in there as well. They killed the cache too. That's a big win. That's 250 manpower down the drain. Recon's going overhead. Bazooka team opening fire on them. Oh wait, we have a bombing strike inbound. British bombers are inbound. So we'll see how that goes. Now it looks like most of the German army is just gonna pull back. Again, Sultan's like, I'm just gonna pull back. I'm not gonna fall for it. And it seems to be working. I don't really... The medical facility could do... Oh, Stern Pioneer got a good hit. Yeah, they just kind of pulled back. But that being said, that could be a win for the Brits, because the Brits are pushing in right now. If they bring in enough defenses and stuff, and... Wow, okay, so Rifle has 2 snipers. I mean, one has 30 kills, but still. If he can hold that position, maybe he can do something? Maybe. Because, again, it's like, okay, this gives me like 30 seconds to hold down that position and really fortify it so we can hold the fuel. That could be what he's thinking. And if that was the case, the bombing strike did what it needed to. It didn't kill the medical, but it pushed the entire German army back. And some British artillery could keep them from reinforcing that sector for a little bit of time. Milam has gotten an Su-85, which is weird because he already has 76s. I guess to help them against the King, which is being an issue. The only reason I say it's weird is because he has the airborne troops, and a good ram could hurt the King. So that's why I'm saying, like, have the Su-76 fire, ram it, call in the airstrike, keep hitting it, and it theoretically would die. So, or you can call it in and it could just freely leave. Now, the command tank's here, so it'll take less damage. Oh my god, King is not paying attention, luckily a bounce. And that's what I mean, like a ram could keep it pinned, and then the Su-76s could just fire on it. And while they are weaker, they would pen eventually. Some of the shots would eventually pen. Breakthrough came in, unfortunately breaking the British position a bit. We have something on right. Hold on. Oh, it's a smoke pass, okay. Which is going to shoot it down and kill one of Infinite's men. So Johnny just committed friendly fire. Johnny just committed some friendly fire action right there. Okay. Meanwhile, King Tiger is pushing on the right. And yeah, he's trying to break that support equipment. Not bad. But yeah, second King Tiger, which is also weird because you have a doctrine that has a normal Tiger. Okay. Not a bad choice, but... interesting. It's interesting. Now, he did go Panzer Commander, so we'll call in artillery. That's a really nice feature. A really nice feature to call in to help break enemy positions. Nice job with the shock troops. Trying to kill a Vet 5 support equipment. If they kill that, that's a... Yep. Absolutely. Killing a Vet 5 unit is insanely good because, again, they have to work that back up. And that thing has probably been causing havoc for the Allied lines for some time. A lot of Johnny's men are actually very weak. Holy mackerel, Johnny. Get a medic squad, why don't you? But yeah, VP-wise, Allies are still on the back foot, 3-1. They need to do something soon. Strike is coming in that position. I'm not sure what that is. It is Railway. Okay, maybe it's just... Oh, it's a juncture point, so it stops the Allies from reinforcing that way. If that's the case, that's not a bad strategy, because that will actually keep the Soviets relative... I mean, he'd go this way, but... I mean, I get the idea. He's trying to keep the Soviets from reinforcing. Also, clear to mine, so, okay. Now, the problem is the Soviets can still come this way and hurt the king. So, a little weird. Like, an area denial, like, maybe here would be better. Because then it would be a little bit tougher to kind of maneuver through. Especially pathfinding. Panzerwerfer coming on in. Sniper, unfortunately, did perish, which is unfortunate. But he got another one. AT gun just perished because of the artillery. British trying to hold the fuel armor assault on right with a Pershing and IS-2. Oh, boy. And we have an elephant. Oh, this is good. Jagdpanzer is taking hits. But 2 heavy tanks are currently engaging the Panther with the Zis. Panther in for a rough day if he thinks he's going to win that fight. And yeah, Panther pulling back. Now, nice job. The building is destroyed, but vehicles can direct fire through it. It could hit it, but it also can fire through. The same thing can be said to the Axis. They could fire straight through. So it's not like the Allies are the only ones who can do this. But a cool, nice little thing. King Tiger engaging. Katyusha moving way too close to the front. I assume he's either trying to kill it or lure it in, maybe? He's like trying to bring the Tiger in as bait. But, yeah, Tiger's like, I don't care. And I guess he has Sultan for a railway, which... This is a weirder spot. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's not railway. The railway's on left still. It's, the Panzer Commander. He called in the Panzer Commander on there to try to break up... Okay, that makes more sense. Meanwhile, Faust going in the Cromwell. Not doing all that much. You need to weaken it first. Let's see. Su-85 got Fausted, though. And one of the 76s did die, I'm assuming, to the infantry push. The King Tiger is back, so I don't think it killed... Maybe it killed a vehicle. No, it didn't. It had to be the infantry. Infantry must have done it. Or the Raketwerfers. Does he still have the Raketwerfer? No, it had to be Fausting. He got Fausted pretty hard. Anyway, artillery fire currently hitting the MG and the King Tiger. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it did all that much. Maybe it wiped something, but I'm not seeing it. Sudan engaging the Rangers, but they use smoke. Good idea to weaken them down. Unfortunately, Rangers still go through, but wow, artillery fire from both sides. You got the Panzerwerfer hitting the Rangers, actually killing a squad with the Obersoldaten, while the Katyusha is hitting the Obersoldaten. So Rangers lose a squad. Can the Obersoldaten lose a squad? No, they don't. So that's a win for Mimikute, who was effectively able to counter that Ranger push. And again, that's a lot of resources just down the drain. Su-85 being pulled in by Milam, trying to battle for mid. And I think he has edge now. Those tank destroyers can hold back the King. Again, the King is not meant to fight tank destroyers. The King is meant as support. And even though it's like a big heavy tank, it's a support unit. Because a one tank alone is not going to do much, especially with its speed. It's not exactly a fast tank. A Panther or something like, or a Panzer IV could dive. A King Tiger really needs that infantry and AT to really help break through something, or more armor support like a Panzer IV or something. In this case, a Raketwerfer line to help break up the Su-85s and just slowly screen and advance. Because any infantry that comes within the King's range is going to be in for a world of hurt. But then the AT guns can deal with the tank destroyers. That would give the King Tiger a world of hurt. It's a symbiotic relation that needs to be done in order for maximum success to be achieved. Speaking of which, Axis seem to be still holding mid. Because, again, King can wall up the infantry from afar still. Command tanks hold down, which is still boosting stuff. Unfortunately, not the King anymore, but it's still boosting, like, let's say, the Panther, which is smashing that Firefly. You know, a number of good stuff. So let's see, on right, infantry is being pounded by Katyusha fire. So yeah, a little bit of an RD war going on right now. But infantry still advancing. We still got plenty of heavy tanks, so yeah, that's all coming to fruition. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17. Want to do a quick shout out, just momentarily let you know that remember on Sundays at 9 AM Central Time I do live streams on Twitch, and the reason I say that is because a lot of these replays I do live, as you can see with some of the chat options on the side. Again, if you want to take part in that, it's Sundays 9 AM Central Time, and again I look at replays from fans, from subs, and patrons. Patrons as well being shown above right as I speak, but just want to give a quick shout out to them. A quick shout out to, again, my Twitch channel and my live stream when I do replays, and hopefully you can support the channel by making sure you hit that like, subscribe button. Thank you again for your support. Now back to the video. Pushing them back. Oh my god, massive Soviet push by Johnny coming on in. Even though Saddam are like, we're out, we're done. We're not dealing with this. Jagdpanzer, I love it. It's on standby. Again, camouflage to the enemy is like, well, we can deal with that. Again, direct firing through, but Jagdpanzer's in a good angle to hit him, to counter back. Although, a lot of bouncing going on, though. Even with the Jacksons, they're having a rough time. Wait, we have something coming on in. A Stuka bomb is approaching. I think, hold on. Oh, it's bombers. We have bombers coming in. Well, something, I think the steward just passed on, I think, or an ambulance. Oh, yeah, it must have been a Stuka bomb strike on target. But the bombers are coming in, I'll show that in a second. Yeah, there goes the pack line. MGs are fine, we're like, oh, there's bombs falling? It's not near us, we're okay. Katusha's trying to get rid of the equipment. Yeah, Stuka bomb killed all the infantry. So yeah, Infinite lost a good chunk of his frontline forces, which is big because yeah, that's gonna limit his capabilities for an advance. But luckily, Johnny can kind of make up for it with his infantry. Pershing coming on in, and it looks like though the elephant's still relatively one piece. Jagdpanzer as well, so that armor's gonna be pushed back quite a bit. It's really up to these Obersoldaten. Yeah, Obersoldaten pretty much, and that's it. And even that's under Katusha fire right now. Katushas, by the way, have like 45 kills respectively, so they're doing pretty good with their overall kill counts. Recon going overhead. Oh, plane crash. That's a hell of a thing. But armor's getting healed up, back in action. We still have some artillery from the Axis in terms of Panzerwerfers and a newly developed Stuka. So they have a way to counterattack. They have a way to really effectively, hopefully, counter the enemy. Great shot on the conscripts, forcing them back. IS-2, again, love the positioning of it, hiding behind the building. But the problem is, again, the elephant's right there. It can fire straight through. I think it still can. Oh, no, now it can't. But it can direct fire if it wants to. IS-2 is direct firing, but again, if you direct fire, you have a higher chance of missing. At least from that angle. King Tiger returns fire. It has some trouble. And again, you can always hit the building. Meanwhile, Stuka firing pretty close in mid. I don't know. Oh, Katusha's opening fire as well. Oh, they're trying to hit the Stuka. I'm sorry, they're trying to hit the Katusha. Nice hit, actually. Good use of it. Again, now that Katusha's going to be like, we need repairs, so it might take a little while before that gets back in action. The other one seems fine, though. It could fire. McKinney on standby. Again, camouflage, so the Su-85s can't see it. So we're going to see a situation where they're going to fire and start wearing down these tank destroyers, and the King Tiger can take those hits. It bounced 3 shots easily. So again, you still have to worry about that heavy armor, because again, take hits, quite a number of them. Good job with that Katusha. Again, good spread on that, is effectively pushing back the Panzerfusiliers. And right now we're looking at MG Mortar trying to open fire. Firefly just like trying to stay back. Again, has sniper support, so the armor, if it charges on in, could have a main gun have problems because of the critical shot that will be coming in. Again, more cash is down for the Axis, which is good, bringing resources. Not great, a little higher on fuel, but a lot less in munitions by like, what, 15? So that's a decent amount. Sport gun coming on in. Oh, no, Panzerwerfer firing, 19 kills. Going for the sniper, but sniper dodges like a champ. I mean, at the very least, they are lasting longer than the other one. And they're both up to veterancy 1 and 2, respectively. But it looks like right now we're in a holding pattern because the Axis can't break the Allies, but the Allies can't effectively break the Axis away. And this is more important from the key. Oh, nice kill on the MG. They can't break them from the key strangleholds they're holding on the VPs. Each of these VP points have so far been, relatively speaking, under Axis control. Milam has occasionally broke it, as we saw. As we can see, they're just under 400 points for their VPs. So again, the Axis have lost a little bit, but comparatively to the Allies have been... Oh my god, great shot with the King. 31 kills on that sucker. A lot of dead Soviets. God, it got so bad he actually got conscripts with SVTs. But anyway, Panzerfusiliers putting pressure on the conscripts, doing what they can. Again, Vet 4 with 13 kills, not too shabby. MG with 16 kills. Good defensive nature with that thing. McKinney though coming on the flank, trying to hit the Su-85s. Possible push coming on in, but again, snipers can easily crit the armor. And I think they realize that, so they're smoking the back on up. Great shots with Rakadwerfer. Stuka coming in on target as well. Quite a bit of damage. Katusha doing, trying to kill that Rakadwerfer. Rakadwerfer kills the Su-85. Absolutely worth it, even if he loses that. Katusha coming on in. Does kill it. But still, you got, it's an SU-85 compared to a Kenwerfer. It's easy to get more infantry, especially with, like, Barter currently having 1,600 manpower. Holy mackerel. I haven't really talked about manpower that much. And he's getting himself more support. But the Allies, on the other hand, 1,900 manpower for the British, 1,000 for the Soviets with Milam. But that being said, Johnny and Infinite not doing much better in terms of the reserves. Still have a good army. Well, okay, well, there goes that. But still, it's like they're barely able to keep up with what they're losing. Meanwhile, on this side, Basuki actually has 1,000 manpower, doing very well for himself. But yeah, Raider, easily, I think the best right now. No, Rifle is the best with nearly 2,000, but at least best on the Axis team. So again, these guys are playing very well, at least keeping. I'm sorry, the guys on left, not right, left are doing a good job keeping their stuff alive. My apologies. Sultan's at pop cap, so you gotta admit he's at least doing decently well. Nice kill, double kill actually on the British. They lost 2 major vehicles. So yeah, Rifle's gonna be like, well, good thing I have 2,000 in the bank because I need to make withdrawal. A major one. Axis forces have pretty much broken the left artillery coming on in. If they stay there, that artillery will hurt them quite a bit. I wouldn't say kill, but it's going to be close, I'll say that. Breakthrough coming on in. Again, Milam taking heavy losses. Man, I love how I bring up the reserves, and immediately it's like, they're dead. They're losing a lot of it. The British have lost all their armor. King Tiger advancing at a good critical point. Now would be a good time for a Panther, which is undergoing repairs, to really push through and kill these Katyushas. Unfortunately, I don't think the Axis have... Oh, they do. They actually have 2 recons. And they could call it in, do a recon on this region. And again, it could be something as simple... Did Railway just... Hold on. Did Railway hit that location? I'm sorry, did Sultan just use Railway on his Jagdpanzer? Because I think he did. I think that was friendly fire action, which sucks, but I digress. Beyond that team kill. A good action would be to go and try to kill these Katyushas, because there's 2 here, and there's 2 here. So doing like a dive with a Panzer IV, a Puma, something like that to kill him, I think would be beneficial. German forces trying to push left, and they might be able to. Again, which is a bad time for Milam and Rifle to suddenly lose their entire army, because if the Germans take that VP with 30 points remaining, it's not going to end in a victory. Let me just say that it's not great. But luckily, Milam and Rifle can rely on their allies, Johnny and Infinite, who are doing what they can to push on right. But even with all the Katyusha and fire coming down, even on the Elephant, even though oh wow, the Elephant's taking a beating from those Jacksons. Veteran C 3-2. Unfortunately, the King is still there, calling in artillery on the Zis gun, which is great job on that. Again, use this artillery to help deal with that support equipment. King Tiger taking a beating as well. Jackson barely makes it out. Did they lose anything major? Elephant's down. Did he lose the Jagdpanzer? No, it's still operational. They still have a decent army. I think Basuki maybe lost a bit of his infantry. He did. But overall, Obsidian are coming back in to grab it, so I don't think it'll be too big of a loss for the Axis. If anything, I think that may have been a tactical loss for the a strategic loss, sorry, for the Allies, because they were unable to grab that victory point that they need. They need this VP so much, but the problem is right now is Obsidian are more engaged in these conscripts, unless they have infantry coming in to grab it while they're doing the fighting. I get it. Send your heavy infantry to fight, and then you grab the point. That I have a screen, but let's see. Panzerwerfer coming on in. Oh, going for the repairs, and there goes the Pershing with a great Jagdpanzer shot. Good job with Mimikyu with that regard. Pershing goes down. The IS-2 is almost done repairing, but the Obsidian about to die if he doesn't get out of there. He sees it. I don't know. That's Vet 5. Oh my god, will this man live? Holy god! The Mad Lad! Holy mackerel! Almost so done, and gets killed by the King Tiger! Holy god! That almost done. It's like, don't worry. I can rely on my armor. I'll hold the line. Oh, holy mackerel. That was epic right there. But it gave him enough time where all the infantry got backed up or killed. Literally, Johnny's down to nothing with infantry. He's down to 2 squads. He had so much more. Armor's advancing now, but the elephant is slowly approaching. On the far left, armor push is also happening, but the Brumbar is taking some hits. But nice smoke actually protecting the Brumbar. Really nice. Panther and stuff trying to help, but Jackson has come up at a good time with the IS-2. We have some strike coming on in. I think it's incendiary to try to hold back a lot of the infantry. They could actually pick up a lot the Zis gun, but good job by the fires prevents that from happening. All right, now they just need to hold the right, and they're doing repairs to the elephant coming on up. Hopefully, to keep the Jacksons back. Tiger and Yagpons, Tiger under fire. Yagpons are trying to return fire. He is using special rounds, but he's about to fall. Yeah, he's about to end that. Also, remember he can always call in more artillery if he needs to call it in like here to stop them. If he was, you know, actively trying to stop that. Katusha, though, hitting a bunch of pioneers. Again, healing on the front comes with its own issue. Good job with that. Stuka comes in, hits the Rangers. It's a mad dash for the point. 10 points remaining. Middle is now open. Milam trying to make a mad dash with MG suppressing them. On the far left, luckily, Rifle is able to prevent a decap of that. Decap of that by the Germans and recapture that. On the right, allies are making a desperate attempt, but almost Sudan holding. Mad Lad's doing it again. Panzerwerfer coming on in, causing a bit of suppression. Ostwind, Vet 3 doing what it can, but the Jacksons are laying waste to it. Unfortunately, Elephant is not in a great position. The building's preventing him from firing on that armor. Jacksons need a counter, and the Elephant needs to reposition. Yagpons are doing what it can, but it's 3 Jacksons on 1. They need a bit of AT. Hell, a Rakenwerfer would be great, and you have the manpower for it. Great shot, though. You gotta give it to the Jagdpanzer. Doing extremely well, and also good Panzerfaust there. The problem is right now, this point, you need to cap it. But again, it's 375 to 9 points. Great shot, by the way, with the Jagdpanzer killing the Jackson. A decisive blow, indeed. And yeah, that's gonna be a huge win. Oh, wait, can the Volk Squad live? It will live. Okay. But yeah, it's a big blow because, again, that's more stuff down. And Infinite, while not having tons of fuel, does not have the manpower to just keep pumping out these tanks and reinforcing his men. So he has to be very cautious with how he approaches that. Same thing with Johnny. He's in a weird predicament. Now, luckily, the more you switch to an armor-based army, the less issue you have if you keep that alive because you just need to repair. And that doesn't impact manpower. So that is a nice little win. Looks like artillery did come in. We had some Soviet losses. Milam down to 2 Su-85s after losing his 76s. Let's see. Comets are now on the field. So yeah, a Rifle upgraded his army and has gotten that back up. So good job on him. Milam did burn through a lot of his reserves though. Katusha's though looking pretty good, respectively. And he is pumping a bunch of infantry. So I think Milam is going to come back with Rifle in a major way. It's going to be curious to see how Johnny and Infinite do. Because, again, Mimi Cute and Bazooki is doing a really good job at putting a ton of pressure. This IS-2 is in a world of hurt. Panther trying to do what it can. Infantry is making a mad dash. Hold on, Panther's making a mad dash. King Tiger is attempting to hold back the armor on left and is bouncing a good number of shots. Trying to finish off the IS-2. The Panther is. And, unfortunately, both of them bounce. Right on it, Kitty. Finished the IS-2. Jackson's realizing the situation, turning to help along with the Su-85. But the King is pushing as well. Kills the Su-85. And the Panther decides to go in for a dive. Again, conscripts, bad move. Johnny did an AT grenade. Could have done it right there and ended the fight. But Katyushas are in harm's way. He sees it, I want to say. He has to see it, right? Yeah, he sees it. He absolutely should see that. And there's Katyushas on the right. He's turning left to go at it. He misses the shot. Katyusha's firing. It's right there, Basuki. It's right there. But he leaves to go after the other ones and hit the Su-85. Luckily, Milam has infantry right there. Are they more prone for AT grenades? They are, so at least he's paying attention. Here comes the AT grenade. And the Panther's probably going to go down. Meanwhile, the King tried to advance. Luckily, a smoke drop's coming on in. Jackson's, after doing a whole thing, are now coming back to try to kill the remaining armor. Again, needed armor support, really, from that Panther to take out the, stuff there and draw them away, but it did not happen. Panzerwerfer coming on in, a little friendly fire, but they're trying to kill these conscripts. Also, one of them did die. Airstrike coming on in. The King may have perished. But Mimikyu does enough to bring it back. Jagdpanzer coming on in, trying to finish off, but both Jacksons live. The dive attempt, in all honesty, for the Germans has failed in a tremendous fashion. While they did kill, I believe they killed the IS-2. They did. The IS-2 is defeated. The King, a Jagdpanzer, all this stuff died, and the Elephant at least managed to get away relatively unscathed. So if the Pershing did dive, at least it can come back up, and it is. Pershing, I mean, the Panther made it out, good for him. But still, it's, if he killed the Katyushas, that would have, I think, been GG. I think if you would have focused on Johnny's Katyushas, it would have been GG. Because, and this is very, very specific, Johnny does not, he has the fuel, he does not have the manpower to, let alone reinforce all of his men. If he loses the Katyushas, you're not seeing armor for him for a while. Puma, at least from Raider, is making an attempt. He's like, I'll just send a Puma to go deal with it. And it is pushing. Breakthrough as well coming on in. Jagdpanzer and King advancing. So another attempt being made. Again, he's sacrificing infantry. I don't see the reason for it. You have tons of manpower, but no point. Luckily, Puma does go in for it. We have a half-track trying to help hold back the Puma. It can hurt the Puma. Bullets hurt the Puma. Puma focusing on the S-285 rather than the thing actively shooting it. S-285 turning around. Jagdpanzer's opening fire on it, but the smoke is blocking sight. And the half-track does manage to kill the Puma. So that's 18 vehicle kills for the half-track. 18 for it. Maybe Cute says, why you guys try hard? I mean, to be fair, you dove his men, so, you know, you're actively doing that. Pershing trying to help, but unfortunately Elephant's there. He does miss, though. Elephant is missing target. So now we're in a weird state. Where, well, we have guys with losses. Johnny has lost quite a bit. He's lost a bit more since I last saw him. We have Mimi Cute, who's lost a bit of his infantry. Some of his best folk in Sldered has been lost. But he still has the Vet 4 Jagdpanzer. And he has another one coming up. Plus, he has access to a King Tiger or a normal Tiger very soon. And then, let's see. We have Raiders still doing very well. Sultan still has a full army and multiple Panzerwerfers. Like, they still have full armies. Especially that King with 50 kills. He has done a fantastic job of just bleeding Milam. And Milam has bled. He is out of his reserve. So he needs to make sure the army he has is stable. And that's why I mean, like, going for the Katyushas is so critical. Because that's 720 manpower that it's going to be so hard to get back at this spot. Rifle still has a good army. I think he's right now... Hold on, let me verify this. Yeah, he... As much as I like Infinite in his Rangers, in his Jacksons, I think right now Rifle's in the best spot. Because not only does he have an army, even if it's less equipped that like the Rangers currently have, I truly, and again, we're about to see some possibly dead Rangers here. Sldered having a field day with the base. Hold on, it's gonna be close. Can they get those men? But I think the British are in a better position to hold. But the Jacksons are helping. The Jacksons and the Pershing are definitely helping make up for Johnny's shortcomings on this side. King is coming on in. Luckily, Jagdpanzer's in a bit of an issue with pathfinding. Unfortunate. I guess he's trying to kill himself into the ravine, or he's trying to go for a long... I have no idea what he was doing, but I think pathfinding screwed him over on that. That's unfortunate. But again, he has... well, okay, never mind. He used the King, so he doesn't have a lot of manpower left. So, that was a big loss for no reason. But yeah, Basuki's still doing decently well with his Elephant. Raider still has a good bit in mid, and by God, he could absolutely take it. And again, Sultan also doing very well with his army. Looks like Milam took some more hits, but is still kicking. Comets are holding with a bunch of infantry. They may push for the fuel. It doesn't look... I mean, they have a Brumbar here, which is a huge ordeal to deal with. Sniper 18 kills, but providing recon, which is helpful. Grenadiers pushing on in, but the British infantry should hold. Middle right now is the big thing. Capture mid and then the right or left. King Tiger's up, so again, you have to worry about it. Just, you know, taking out those conscripts. Jacksons could come in, but it looks like they just had a whole ordeal and had to pull back. Again, maybe the Germans moving an army here of like AT and kind of flanking some of this stuff could help. But again, they're already pretty low. Elephant is Vet 3, though. Elephant is Vet 3. That's a major issue for the Allies right now, having such a powerful tank destroyer backing up the King, Jagdpanzer, additional armor. Now, the only problem I see right now is the fact that BBQ literally has one infantry unit. that's an ordeal. At least Johnny has 3. Oh, 4. The shock troops just need heals. But he's at least getting back. I don't think Mimicute's having a rough time. Bazuki has some infantry, but not frontline stuff. Bombers or something's coming on in. Oh, no, it's an airstrike. And there goes the Panzerwerfer. So again, that's a good kill right there. Bazuki could get another one, but again, not with the veterancy. Stuka's opening fire. Maybe going for this or the Katyushas. We'll see. He's going for the Pershing. Really no damage. Katyusha hitting his own men. Obelsadan trying to hold. He's trying to do what he did before. At holding back the conscripts, but he's in no cover. Conscripts are. King Tiger's focusing somewhere else. He does manage to hold. Oh my god. And push it back. Good job. That Obelsadan is insane. Rangers with bazookas, a major ordeal, but King Tiger puts an end to them. And yeah, they're pretty low. But again, no frontline infantry. Come on, you need some more frontline stuff to deal with stuff like that to wear them down. More Rangers coming on in, but they don't have too much to deal with, but they will probably hold that VP pretty strongly. We have assault artillery coming on in. Milam looks like took some hits again, lost to Katyusha from that artillery barrage, but still, relatively speaking, present in the area if he needs to push with everything he theoretically can. Looks like Rifle took a number of hits, though, with his armor and infantry, but he's still okay. Still, if he needs to commit, he can commit. But the problem is, how is Sultan? Sultan still is pretty good. He doesn't have like a huge, like a frontline armored force, but he's getting that. His infantry's a little bare. But that being said, same thing as Raider. Raider's also a little bare in that regard. What is this? A Bazooki sending a Panther on left. Are they gearing up for a push on that side? I don't know. This seems like half-hearted. That there's no allied support. I honestly don't know. Because it's like, if he was teaming up with Sultan, Sultan's not nearly in a capable position to do that. So I don't know. Again, S-285 sniping the Jagdpanzer, and the Bazooka Squad is. Don't know what's going on here. Jagdpanzer just sitting there. Maybe cute, possibly just the strain of playing so long might be going to his head. He doesn't have much of an army left. He honestly doesn't. Johnny has regrouped his army and is now tied with Milam. Recon's going overhead. We have something going on left. I think it's breakthrough. So they might be trying to break up this area and then pushing. We are seeing a push. The push is active. Airstrikes coming on in. Oh, wait. It hit the building. Panzerwerfers were saved from a double strike from the building. That's unfortunate, but lucky for him. Anyway, they are advancing, but it looks like the British actually just took it, and actually, lucky enough, maybe some men died, but they still have enough here. They could probably hold back a German push. Milam immediately coming over for assistance, pushing up against Sultan's flank, and yeah, Pack could die. Mortar's looking bad. AT grenades being thrown. Firefly Comets could commit and fire long range. But again, I don't think Milam can really move from his position with his armor because of all the Jagdpanzers here. We are starting to see some British movement on the left. They are trying to kill the equipment. Good for them. Neutralize that. Make sure the enemy doesn't get it. We're seeing additional shots. Artillery coming down on the infantry. A lot of armor and infantry over here. And again, we're seeing less and less from Bazuki and Mimi. Again, unfortunate for them because it looks like Johnny and Infinite are slowly recouping themselves in a major way. So I don't know how they expect to push on right. But I will say, Milam might be the weak point here. Looks like a lot of the armor has been neutralized. And again, it looks like a ram did occur on possibly the King, but the King didn't have any engine crits or anything. So the T-34 will die. Jagdpanzer diving. But again, without recon, it can't really seize to the Su-85. Even though main gun destroying, the other one barely alive, can probably still deal with this Jagdpanzer. Unless he can get that shot and knock out its main gun, I think this is GG for the Jagdpanzer. Although Su-85 just hit the bunker, so friendly fire. Big push on left. Again, I think more breakthrough happened. But again, it's not breaking. Not at all. But again, I'll say this. Raiders doing a good job at holding mid. On the right-hand side, King Tiger's advancing. Jacksons are right there. I don't know what he's... Oh, Elephant is backing up. He's trying to return fire. Elephant needs to actually hit targets, though. I've been missing quite a few shots. He does hit. It's barely alive. All right. So as long as the elephant is committed and hitting, he's going to have again, Infinite's going to have a rough time. We have something coming on in. I think it's artillery, and that will break up the AT gun. Again, good for him. Brumbar as well coming on in with Panzerwerfer. Not able to fire yet, but at least it's on standby. Trying to kill the infantry. Good job with the king. Up to 74 kills. My god. Jagdpanzer are having a rough time. Airstrike neutralizing it. Milam might not be able to hold his front, but those airstrikes for the most part have been on point. The only thing that's been stopping him is literally the terrain. Good sniper shot causing a crit. Unfortunately, not a ton of armor that can exactly push in this sector. Brumbar doing what it can. Again, having a rough time. Axis have lost a lot of points. They've been unable to crack the allies in many ways. King Tiger, though, up to veterancy 3, 75 kills, and at least holding mid pretty firmly. On the right, Elephant is still opening fire. Armor has been smashed, actually. Good job with the Stuka hurting the Pershing. Jackson neutralized either by artillery fire. Oh, no, it's sorry, he got decrewed. Never mind. But it did have to go back for repairs. Brumbar trying to hold the infantry. Good shot with the Ostwind. At least they're holding him back, and plus they can shoot down some planes. Stuka, 24 kills. King Tiger, 20 kills. But no infantry. He can't take the point. You're in a game where you're literally about to win if you hold both points for a certain period of time, and you can't even do that. I don't know, man. I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, Armor's on standby, trying to figure out what to do. Alright, looks like we're gearing up for a push with even Mimikyu sending armor. This might be the big armor push to break the allies. And they are committing, it looks like, with 3 Panthers. This is not some small fry attempt. This is a large-scale maneuver by the Germans. Luckily, Sniper stops them before having to retreat with a crit shot. Panther having a rough time, though. Again, being hit. Milam committing. And unfortunately, the big guy that needed support, Jagdpanzer's out of commission. The King Tiger's out. So that armor, battering rams, are... Raiders armor that would really help at keeping Milam at bay is nowhere to be seen. So Su-85 is going to have a field day with this. T-34 coming in. A lot of armor is dying. Panther actually decrewed. Possibly a Soviet one. T-34 just going crazy and helps kill the Panther. We got commandos coming on in on the point to help hold it. Armor's trying to do what they can to hold this position. Gammon Bomb killing his own men. Panzerwerfer firing, killing it. Grandier's barely alive. Airstrikes coming on in, killing more stuff. Stuka coming on in. They're trying to commit what they can. Jagdpanzer coming at the last moment. Comet as well dying. Firefly is hiding inside. It dies as well. Conscript's trying to hold the point, but Pioneers push. Again, this is a bad thing. Don't sacrifice a unit. All right, there. Hopefully he gets out and doesn't burn to death. He does. Good. At least he can come back in that way. Jagdpanzer charging. I have no idea why. Stop doing that. Play defensive. You need to hold against the infantry. Panther, I don't know why it's there. It needs to deal with this conscript squad. Look, they're down to 1 point for the Allies. Allies barely able to commit. But again, they threw everything on left. Right side's open, so I don't expect really much. Because again, it's not like this guy's a ton of infantry or even Basuki. He doesn't. They have a like small little idle force here to stop a big push because the Jacksons are still here. As long as the Jacksons, the Pershing, all this is here, you're gonna have to worry about a possible flank. You could honestly just say fuck this and move, but the problem is he'll move and he could flank this position, and again that would hit Raiders' side. So they have to make sure they're in a good position to stop all this armor from Infinite from moving on in. Again, he has to be aware. Right now, it looks like, though, that Sultan did lose a good chunk of his men. Panzerwerfer and the command tank are still alive. Stuka firing. So, yeah, Mimikyu sending his men over, at the very least. More commandos dropping on in. Railway just killed both of them. Oh, well, and actually... Oh, my God, Katusha is well hurting. All right, maybe stay off the point for a little bit. All right, but Comet trying to hold the line, but... Rifle's lost everything. Milam now has a decent-sized army, so the Soviets have to come on in. Actually, over here we have Infinite coming on in. We actually have infantry. I'm assuming just keeping the rest at bay as middle is still secure. We've still no major movement from the armor on right. And again, it looks like most of Mimicute's armor is pushing left. But so far, yeah, Jackson's are also repositioning. This would be the moment that Bazooki needs to push, because right now he has advantage in the region. He has points. He needs to advance. He has recon. He needs to push. This is his moment, and he's being idle. He's being idle. Jacksons are recommitting elsewhere. The Soviets are recommitting with full potential. Right now, there's a whole army not moving. He needs to commit. This is when you push as the enemy is off-center in this massive battle. They're trying to hold this left side. Allies are holding right now, barely, and slowly putting pressure on the Axis. Comet, barely alive somehow, and literally Rifle has almost no units left. Literally another commando strike coming on in. Katusha trying to kill the infantry. You have all this coming in, one at a time, people, just one at a time. Fire coming in as well to try to burn the infantry. Commandos coming in, airstrike coming on in. Command tank still alive, and again, that's helping keep the infantry around him alive. Jacksons and everything are committing. King Tiger needs to move on in to assist, or maybe some of the infantry with Panzerfaust could move on in. Rangers are there too. Again, the armor's not moving. Let's move it, people. Again, he has shock troops there guarding, but yeah, it's like, come on. You need to do something. Either send the elephant left or push. Don't be idle. You need to do something. Meanwhile, again, the armor that is now unopposed came in and dealt a death blow to that. King Tiger as well, main gun destroyed. Rifle has no army. Rifle has no army on the field right now. But I would say Mimicute exactly doesn't have a huge army. Stuka coming in, almost killing the Jackson. Does lots of the Rangers at the very least. Pershing trying to hold. And with 1 point remaining, the Allies win it via decap in mid. Barely able with the conscript, barely alive. And again, with that decap holding right and consistently making sure the Germans couldn't take left, they would have won it. If the Germans would have held mid, and then they take left at that moment, they probably would have won it. But because they decap mid, because again, my big thing, you moved everything left, and then you didn't have anything to guard your flank, and then, yeah, he was able to come in and just deal with it. So, what are you going to do? Let's look at the after action report, shall we? And, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Definitely interesting indeed. Because in this after action report, we're looking at top damage going to Infinite, Jackson's, that's absolutely it. And Johnny Guimard's kills, his Katyushas were absolutely on point. So absolutely, that's the reason why. Thank you, Johnny, for your patience for making this replay. I've done this 3 times now, and I'm finally, hopefully this is the last time I have to do this replay for it to come out. But yeah, I'm very, very happy I finally was able to get this one done for you, so enjoy. But again, Sultan, Raider, Mimicute, Bazooki, you guys did well in your respective ways. But yeah, Mimicute, tons of kills. That other Soldaten was a champ in multiple ways. Bazooki, your elephant was good, but I think you need to commit toward the end. Again, you had something very potential. Then if you're not going to use it, send the elephant elsewhere to guard that point, because that would have easily helped rip apart Infinite's counterattack, which again, his Jackson's amazing. Milam did a really good hold for the most part. Rifle tried to hold until everything came crashing down on his head, but he still tried. Again, I'll give this, it's a very good game. I could say there was no player that played bad. There were some weird choices with more focus on armor than focus on infantry and capping, especially with this. Maybe especially with the Stuka bomb strikes available for Bazooki. You could have done that to decap this point, and that might have helped you win. Because again, if you at least have 1 point decapped and the other one is decapped, then you could at least slowly put the counter on. Stuff like that. Stuff like that could have really, really helped. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Greyshot17, and I'll see all of you next time. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot. If you want to check out previous content, video links will be above, including my Patreon link, which again, many people support, including Aphyria, Milam, Joey G240, Samuel McKinney, Seth Kuipers, Anton Bishara, PyroShark, Ace, Fall of Man, Jakub, Ocwieja, to round it out. Thank you guys so much for your incredible support. If you want to be a patron, you can join. Otherwise, thank you to my current patrons. You guys rock and help me do what I do best. Anyway, this has been Greyshot17, and I'll see all of you next time.